You ever feel like you're just collecting stuff? Tools, skills, even relationships, and each one seems to have just one single purpose? Well, in this explainer, we're going to talk about a huge shift in thinking, how to go from being a collector to being a designer of your own life. And the key is to stop focusing on the forms of things and start looking at their functions.
Yeah, this quote from designer Graham Farrer just hits home, doesn't it? Think about it. A life filled with single-use items and commitments. Sure, each one does its job, but trying to manage all of them? It's exhausting. It just leads to all this clutter and inefficiency. You end up feeling like a workhorse, just constantly juggling everything, instead of being the conductor who makes all those elements work together in a beautiful symphony.
So how do we escape all of that clutter? Well, it all starts with a big shift in perspective. We have to move away from that collector mindset, the one that's always looking for the next thing, and really start thinking like a conductor, who arranges all the pieces they already have into one harmonious system.
And this right here, this is the core revelation. A true master designer isn't asking, what new tool do I need to buy? No, they're asking, how many different jobs can this one tool that I already own actually do? It's all about maximizing utility and integrating what you already have. The goal isn't just accumulation, it's optimization.
Okay, so let's break down how this actually works in the real world. The first principle is all about creating what we can call multi-tool elements. This is where a single component in your life serves multiple, totally distinct functions. It's kind of like giving every element in your life more than one job to do.
So check this out. Take a drone, for example. For most people, it's a camera that flies. But in a really well-designed system, it becomes a multifunctional powerhouse. It can do site analysis for you, it can create killer marketing content, it can handle safety inspections in tricky spots, and it can even generate its own income stream. That's one tool performing 4 critical functions. That's the very definition of efficiency.
All right, now let's flip the coin. If one element can serve many functions, it's also absolutely crucial that one critical function is supported by many elements. This is how we build real, solid resilience and security into our lives. There's a name for this concept. It's called functional redundancy.
So let's run a little strength test. On one side, you've got a pretty common setup. The critical function of income is held up by just one thing, a single job. Now, it might feel stable day to day, but it's incredibly fragile, right? It's a system with a massive single point of failure.
And the risk here is just so obvious. If that single pillar, your one and only job, gets knocked out because of a layoff or an illness or just a shift in the market, the whole structure just collapses. And the consequences of that, they can be devastating.
But now, look at the alternative. When that same function of income is supported by a whole team of elements, consulting, tech repair, drone work, and more, that system is strong. If one element goes down, the others are still there, holding the structure up. This is a system that's literally designed to withstand the storm. It's the difference between a house held up by one pillar and a house supported by a whole forest of them.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how do you actually apply this lens to your own life? Let's get practical. We've got a simple, actionable 3-2-1 plan that you can literally start using today.
We're going to start with the number 3. This represents 3 critical questions you should ask yourself to kind of audit your current system. Think of it as your own personal ethical filter. So first, Earth care. Are your tools and systems helping the planet or just consuming from it? Second, people care. Look at a vital function, like, say, happiness. Are you dangerously relying on just one person or one activity for that? And third, fair shares. What extra skills do you have that could be performing new functions for your community?
All right, next up is the number 2. This step is all about applying this functional analysis to 2 key zones in your life, your work and your home.
So, for your work, I want you to pick one skill or service you offer. Now, beyond just making money, what other functions does it serve? Does it build community? Does it help you develop new skills? And then, for your home, pick one object, a tool, a plant, a piece of furniture, and find a second job for it sometime this week. And finally, we arrive at 1. This is all about creating an immediate result. One action you can take right now. I want you to look around you. Find one lazy element, a skill you barely use, an app you only open for one reason, a tool that's just collecting dust. Your challenge is to find a second function for it, today. This small win makes this whole big concept feel real and tangible.
You see, when we move from being a collector to being a conductor,
we build lives that are way more integrated, resilient, and efficient. We stop just managing clutter, and we start designing these elegant, beautiful systems. So I'll leave you with this question. Are you ready to look past the surface and start seeing the powerful functions behind the forms in your own life?